Hey guys, it's me. Um, it's like 3 in the morning right now, and I'm like super tired, but I figured I'd take this chance to just rank my 10 favorite films of 2017 because, like, why not? I mean, when am I ever gonna get another chance to do this? A better chance than 3 in the morning, so I'm just gonna do it right now, even though I want to sleep. You know. I'm sorry if the sound quality is not so good on this video. It's just, you know, it fits with the whole theme of doing this in at 3 in the morning. So this is very informal, and we're just gonna go ahead and do it. So so I got some honorable mentions. The four superhero movies that are on the screen right now, those were good. I like those. Logan was the best, obviously. Probably my number 11, in fact, for movies this year. And then there was Ingrid Goes West. That was a good movie until halfway through when this horrible character ruined the entire goddamn thing. And, okay, so like. Okay, so like, number 10 is, let's see, The Florida Project, because it's a movie with basically no plot whatsoever, and which is weird because I normally hate that in movies. Like, I want movies to have a plot, and this has like no plot until the very end, but like, I loved it anyway. I was so wrapped up in these characters and their situation and everything. And I just, ooh, oh my god, it hit me like emotionally, and it was good, and yeah, I was shocked that I like was invested in it from start to finish. I was only bored like one or two times. Again, in a movie with no plot. There's like no plot. It's just watching the lives of this like little girl who just runs around places and she's poor and shit. And her mother is like the worst human ever. And Willem Dafoe was there, I think. I don't know. And this movie should have been nominated for Best Picture and Best Director, but it just wasn't because who fucking knows. Anyway, number 9 is Coco because that was a good Pixar movie, not like one of their best. It could have been funnier, I thought. Like there was like no jokes or only a few. Well, I mean, even like Toy Story 3 and Inside Out, which are like super emotional, they have jokes and that stuff. And it's kind of cliched at the beginning. Like there's a lot of stuff from previous Pixar films, like Wall-E with the videotape and Ratatouille with the with the watching your mentor on the TV, and also Up with the, I guess it's a spoiler. Um, so like, but like the emotional climax of this movie and like the whole ending song and sequence is like my favorite in Pixar history. So they did a good job. I feel like this entire movie was made just with the ending in mind. So I appreciate that they did a good job. Okay. Number 8 on my list is Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread was like, oh my god. Like I could listen to the score to this movie for like forever, and it was a magical experience. But also, see, when I went into this movie, I expected some sort of drama with Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Thomas Anderson, and maybe there's a ghost because it was called Phantom Thread. I didn't know what the hell this movie was about. And I saw it, and I was pleasantly surprised at how invested I was in the characters and the humor. I couldn't believe it. This is a really funny movie. I just and it's a weird, it's an unconventional love story, and then at the end you're just kind of like, huh. It's really a movie that just gives you a lot to think about like what is love and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a weird movie though to be going out with as like Daniel Day-Lewis's final movie. I'm kind of surprised by that. That like this is his final role. It's a good role. It's a really good movie, but like it's a weird way to go out, I guess. But like it's whatever. It's good. Go watch it and stuff. And yeah, I guess like the first 20 or so minutes are kind of slow and kind of boring. But after that was over, I was invested from that point on to the very end. So, very good movie. Number 7 is I, Tonya. Speaking of movies that should have been nominated for Best Picture, but just weren't. Margot Robbie was good, and Allison Janney was good, and Sebastian Stan. Why is nobody giving him credit? He should also be nominated for Best Actor instead of fucking Denzel Washington for that movie nobody liked. But, like Sebastian Stan, man, he was in Black Panther too at the very end, at the end credits, playing Bucko Barnes. So I, Tonya was about like a figure skater in the 90s and a very famous TV show or something. Back in the 90s, Tonya Harding was like this like, I guess she was crazy. This movie paints her in a very tragic light, and it was interesting to see. I enjoyed it immensely. It was a funny movie with good performances and good script and um, very accurate to what really happened, just in terms of how it was filmed. Like I looked up the actual like Olympics performance that Tonya Harding did after the movie was over, and like it the way they did it in the movie was like the exact same as how it looked in real life. It was very impressive in that regard. So like points for accuracy. And Allison Janney should just win the Oscar for everything. I think very good. All right, number 6 is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which is a dumb title. They should have just called it 3 Billboards. I mean, come on. So this movie is it's a very grim movie about horrible people doing horrible things. The main protagonist is a horrible person, not quite as bad as the mom in the Florida Project, but no, she's worse. She's worse. She is like the worst, and the only person worse is like Sam Rockwell in this movie, but like his performance is good. I'm talking about the character. There's like two horrible people, and everyone in this character is like a horrible person except for like Woody Harrelson, kinda. And it was very intriguing and dramatic, and seeing all this horrible shit, all these it's just characters doing horrible shit to each other. That's really the best way to describe this movie. And like people are giving it shit because they say the racist cop was who Sam Rockwell plays was redeemed. I didn't think he was redeemed at all. I think he was still a horrible person at the end who was just trying to be a little bit less horrible by like helping out in some way. Oh, that's another thing about this movie. Yeah, like they set it up so like you think it's gonna resolve itself, like the entire main conflict of the movie is gonna be magically resolved by like sheer coincidence, but no, that doesn't happen, and I was happy with that. So that was good. So good work, guys, with that movie. You know, I liked it. Number 5 is Blade Runner 2049. I did not see the other 2047 Blade Runner sequels between the first one and the 2049 one. I did see the first Blade Runner though. That movie was okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right, I said it. But this movie is like a masterpiece, though. I mean, like, dude, this movie just blows the original out of the water entirely. It's the same amazing world, but like it has an interesting plot this time, great performances all around, and like some insane shit. My favorite thing about this movie is that the the girl who plays the hologram lady, Ryan Gosling's robot girlfriend lady, that girl was in El Internado, which is this Spanish TV series that I always watched in Spanish class. And she was in that, and I was just so hyped to see her in this Blade Runner movie. It was amazing. I liked pretty much everything about this movie. It did not feel like it was 3 hours. I was like, I did not want it to end. Okay, maybe I did want it to end eventually, but like, it did not feel long to me. So I'm proud of it. Like, especially as someone who did not care for the original. Like, great work all around with this movie. You should win a lot of Oscars. Number 4 is Get Out, because like I admit I did not care for the trailer for this one. I thought it just looked like a generic horror movie with just like a racial edge added in, and I just thought, okay, this movie doesn't look that good. And then it started getting like all the buzz. This was literally a year ago, by the way. It's shocking, but like it started getting buzz, and so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll see it. And then I was like, holy shit, this movie is like the best. Oh my god. Dude, Jordan Peele should just get like all the Oscars for his screenplay. Like the more I think about this screenplay, the more I realize, holy shit, this is like there's so many layers to this story, and just oh my god, it's fucking insane. Just wow. Holy crap. And like the fact that Daniel Kaluuya is an Oscar nominee for this movie is like perfect, cuz like if you just watch the hypnosis scene, like holy shit, like how was he not initially even considered? Like, dude, yeah, he totally deserves the Oscar nomination. That is, Gary Oldman should still win the Oscar, even though The Darkest Hour was kind of terrible. It was like his performance was like the only thing keeping that movie afloat. But anyway, Get Out was the perfectest movie about horror and race, and it was hilarious. And I loved every second of it. I've rewatched it like so many times. It's so good. Number 3 is The Big Sick. Man, this movie is sick, yo. It's about this Pakistani dude who meets a white girl and they fall in love, but then they break up, and then she goes into a coma, and so her parents, Manny the Mammoth and Elastigirl, come into the picture, and this movie is pretty much perfect, you guys. I mean, like, I just loved everything about this movie from start to finish, and I have no problems with it whatsoever. It's so, like, it's like the best rom-com I've ever seen in my life, and I mean, just literally just go watch it, man. Just what are you doing with your life? Just go watch The Big Sick. It's on Amazon Prime. Go for it. Okay, so number 2, do you guys ever like shit? I've been thinking about making this video for a while, and I had like a whole speech in my head about this movie that I wanted to say, but I never wrote it down, and it's like now it's 3:39 a.m. and I can't remember it. So like we're just gonna try our best here. Okay, so do you guys ever go see a movie and then you see it and you're like, "Huh, that was good." And then but you just have to let it sink in for a little bit, and then you just go you drive home from the movie theater, you think about it, and then maybe after like a month or two, it finally hits you. This was the most relatable movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Ladybird. Oh my god, you guys, I love this movie more than life itself, and it needs to win Best Picture, which it won't. But, like, holy crap, you guys, Ladybird. I just, everything about this movie, like, speaks to me on so many levels. I can relate to multiple characters. I've been through a lot of the same shit that, like, these characters have gone through. I have not been able to get the image of Laurie Metcalf running at the airport out of my head, or like Lucas Hedges crying in Saoirse Ronan's arms. I just cannot get this out of my head. This movie is so good, and like I really let that final monologue like sink in with me, like about driving through the streets of Sacramento for the first time. And I was home that weekend. It was Thanksgiving break, so I just kind of drove through my neighborhood after that before going home, and it really just got to me a little bit. I just, I don't know, man. This is just a gorgeous movie, and like, it's a close second for Best Original Screenplay with me this year. Get Out should win Best Original Screenplay, but like, this movie's screenplay and its direction and its performances, just everything about this movie is just like, this is the kind of movie that's just gonna stick with me for the rest of my life, I think. And I just, I can't express enough just how special this movie is to me and just how much I love it. I've seen it like at this point 4 times. I cannot stop thinking about it. It is so real, so raw, so powerful. It's just the kind of movie that like I will just never forget. Now with that said, number one is Baby Driver, bitches. Oh my god, Baby Driver. Like holy shit. I can't even express just my how much I am obsessed with Baby Driver. This movie is like, along with Ladybird, this is the movie that I think about for like ever. This one I've seen like 10 times. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So, I guess I do have problems with the ending, and like, I don't get it. And, yeah. Hey, wait, speaking of the ending, holy shit, I totally forgot to mention the Florida Project. Great movie, has maybe the worst ending of any movie I've seen this year. So there's that. And Coco was the best ending of any movie I've seen this year, by the way. But like Baby Driver, yeah. Other than that ending, it's kind of a flawless movie, and like I literally have never gotten tired of it. I've listened to every song in the soundtrack so often. Brighton Rock by Queen is my new anthem, and dude, just watch Baby Driver, man. If you haven't, it's just that good. So that's my list of the 2017 movies. It was a good year for cinema, way better than 2016. I don't even fucking remember what my best movie was in 2016. I mean, Moana probably. This year it just had so many good movies, including two that like are probably my favorites of all time. I mean, not my top two favorites of all time, but like they're in like my top 20 or maybe 10. I don't know. Baby Driver definitely is, but like, and Lady Bird is close. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. I just want to go to bed. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Good night.